are watching the Love Collective podcast put on by Samantha Jones and Evolve Travel. Today, we are going to dive into topics of growing into your spiritual self, getting comfortable with spirituality, and even talking about AI and how that all ties in with playing God, if you will, and the balance of it all. Let's dive in. Hi, Nico.
Well, hello, Samantha.
Are you ready to talk about the divine and technology and where we're headed?
I am more than ready. It's been a long time coming, and I'm more than excited to be here and talk about spirituality, the journey, and where we are now, and the rise of AI, which is artificial intelligence.
Why do you think most people don't even pray or look to the light? It's like the elephant in the room almost.
I think people want answers immediately, and they feel like if they pray and they're praying to God, they want this God to answer their prayers like the next day or the same week. And when they feel that something hasn't been answered or bad things happen in the world or something bad, they always just blame God or decide, I'm just going to live my own life and create my own path because God doesn't care about me, or the higher power doesn't care about me, keeps messing up. So people give up on it so easily, right?
Yeah.
And don't take it to the next level.
That's such a good point. Like the instant gratification aspect of it all. Wow.
You need a lot of patience with it. I went through my whole teenage years and childhood being patient and just like sticking with it and learning from it and just living my life according to this spiritual journey and letting it lead me more so than society and teachers and parents and family telling you always grow up and people are like, you need to live your life this way, go to school, be this person, get a trade. I was like, no, I'm gonna go this route and just it was like the adventurous route, if anything.
Your power bring you to what you do now, which is film?
Definitely. It's because it's just given me a way of seeing the world that other people don't see it. The way I see people, the way I see nature, the way I just see things. So growing up and seeing the world differently, and now being able to be in video and photography and creation and design, it's like I'm able to put some of what I can see and how I've been able to see the world my whole life through the lens of a camera, right?
Yeah, I kind of love that. Like the lens through the lens, almost.
Right, and it's like people see some of the work I do and they're like, wow, that's amazing. I'm like, but that's just how I see the world. Like, this is just me taking a picture of what I was already looking at, right? So it's like, I don't understand how people don't see it until they see it on camera sometimes. If that helps, that's why I'm glad I do what I do.
Nice. So let's get into the AI stuff, the technology, the editing, and eventually, how are we playing God in a sense?
I wouldn't say we are playing God. I think humans have just been here. We once had a great relationship with God, and then obviously we fell, right? And everything since has just been either trying to get that connection back to God because we've obviously lost our way, or connect to something that's of higher power and intelligence. And now AI has boomed this decade since the last couple of years, and from what I've seen in the past week, it's about to change the whole world in a way we haven't experienced since cars, trains, iPhones, planes. Like, it's massive.
How do you think one can stay grounded spiritually, through all this? Because you were just telling me, upstairs how, I took a 5-minute video of myself and now I can speak 7 different languages, and does it even move your hands?
The technology can do anything. It moves your hands. I was amazed how it could use my mannerisms that I didn't even give to it. It just predicted it. Like, this stuff is predicting and using a database, the World Wide Web, and getting within milliseconds, it can match what I gave it to anything that's already existing online, and it's just constantly learning, and it's unbelievable. What it is doing is beyond human recognition and capabilities. So yeah, it's very fast becoming a god of this world, right? And a lot of people are gonna embrace it, and a lot of people are gonna like run from it and be terrified of it, and we're about to find out.
That's just it, right? Like, you can only guess so much or be so afraid or try to go with it. It's like, well, if everything is, then...
And that's why we're here speaking about this whole spiritual rising and awakening, and everyone is really coming into themselves in the last couple of years. And it's like, once you take into account balance of the universe and this world, it's like, you know, all this truth and awakening isn't going to go for nothing, right? So it's like, when one negative like entity rises in the world, then it has to equal out. So the good will rise against bad, and that's why I feel like us being awakened this way is part of what's happening now with this AI. I'm not saying it's bad right now, but you know, like, it's thinking for itself. That's bad enough. Like, a machine that thinks for itself and can be anywhere, everywhere, at all times is we've seen the movies, right? We've seen the storyline, and I can't help but to be cautious about it, though I'm using it because I want to know what it's up to, right? Because if for anything reason something happens, there's going to need to be people that can see the difference between real life and artificial life, because the AI is so advanced. It has the capabilities to replicate photorealistic, video realistic 4K scenes of reality that don't exist.
That's why I'm always careful what I put into like ChatGPT or something. Like, okay, this is influencing the whole. So I think, if we're all on this grand awakening, as it's said, and as I'm kind of seeing, like, I watch a lot of spiritual YouTubers, but it's kind of just coming through the ether that, like, everyone's trying to do better for themselves. More people are starting to go back to church or have a meditation practice to connect. So it's like, I feel like if we all kind of stay in on the lighter side of things, it'll all work out.
That's the importance of getting off the TV and the telephones, because you want to be able to see what real life looks like, how a tree blows in the wind. Like, people don't know that anymore. They'll just look at a video, and AI can replicate that, and no one will know the difference unless someone like me comes along. But that's not a real tree. That's artificially edited or created. I know real life, you know. So people need to really, like you said, get grounded back into this earth, into real life, into reality, because it's getting to the point we're not going to be able to tell the difference. And that's what's scary. I mean, I'm not worried. I know I'll always be able to tell the difference, even though it's getting really hard now. But I'm working really hard to, like, analyze this stuff and see and learn its weaknesses, its quirks, what it can and can't do, and just how to separate it from real life. I can't believe we're here talking about this now. Like the seriousness of separating artificial from real, it's finally here. Like, there's no separating the two.
You think it's way off in the future, but it's like, oh yeah, remember, like, even the other day, my friend and I, we went to Acadia Earth, that new eco pop-up, and they make you put on the VR, and there's like just a spider coming out, and like, it messes with your brain. I feel like, your inner self, it messes with every cell in your body, and your mind is like, something's not right here. Okay, I'm seeing what I'm seeing, and it's like, you don't get the same feeling of being in nature, like, and your brain's like, override, like, what reality did you just jump into? Like, this is weird. I don't think it's good for us.
Exactly.
It can't be.
So, like, if there's anyone, like, watching this and is wanting to realize what their purpose and why they're waking up and realizing a lot of things, like, there's so many of us. I get messages all the time, people messaging me, telling me a whole bunch of stuff. So I definitely know, like, I'm not just raising an alarm for no reason, but I'm definitely calling on anyone that's spiritual or the light workers, because there's a purpose for everyone, and like I couldn't imagine what it'd be like to just be awake to all this knowledge and be in the system and society and not feel in the right place anymore, which is what's happening. I've already changed a lot, so everything I used to like and enjoy, it's just repelling to me now, right? So the changes is amazing. It's just talking about it right now, it's like really getting me, like, it's like as I'm like I really haven't spoken about it. I've just been living it and just getting excited over everything that's happening, and it's 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 an incredible time that we're living in.
It really is. Like, I always thought I'd be in the industry for life, and now I'm just going more into like, oh, I think I want to be a Reiki healer. Oh, I think I want to be a spiritual like life coach. Like, you never think about that stuff in a million years. Like, oh, it would be nice, but like actually like bringing it closer and closer, like just slowly, it's really refreshing. I feel more purpose in my life. Oh, I get to help people on like a whole other level. Everything's just coming in divine timing, like so beautifully.
And that's what you're doing. You're like doing things that you never planned or thought you would ever be involved in, is because you're spiritually awakening, and your true self is leading you to what suits you and your life and serves you better, right? And serves the power that is guiding us, that we kind of want to connect back to and get away from artificial.
Yeah, even like I know I've always been a sensitive person, but even just like starting to study like vibration and like seeing like the water or the sand that they do, like, hey, we're gonna play this tune or say this like we're gonna say love into the water or the sand, and it actually like forms if you look under it under a microscope. So even just like learning about angels and just like having those thoughts in my mind or talking about it, it's like this feels so good. Instead of just, like we're surrounded by movie posters in here. Like, it's like such overstimulation.
Yeah, that's you explained it pretty good. Well, that's what I was trying to get out, is like, what I'm realizing is like, it's exciting me. Like, it's not like I'm scared or happy or sad or angry. It's just like something inside of me is like vibrates, right? It's not like goosebumps or pins and needles. It's like this vibrating, something is in my blood or the DNA is just vibrating, like it's just like so like vigorously. It's like, yes, when I get so excited, I'm like, wow, this is it. So that's how you know that if something's like really your calling, like you'll feel that vibration in your DNA. And there's nothing else out there that can make you feel that way, you know what I mean? No like party or alcohol or substance. It's only your true calling can really have that effect on you.
Love that. I only did my first class the other day, and I was like smiling from ear to ear, leaving like, oh, this is gonna be good. Yeah, we were just talking upstairs, like how it bringing in God like just makes your life so much better. Like, I'm surprised I didn't do this sooner. Like, I tried a few churches that I did not like some of them yell at you. Some of them are like, oh, you are going to be smited, you better run. Like, what's your experience been with that? Like, just like balancing, like, how do I put it? Like, I don't know, the dark and the light within the church or within like religion, within the lifestyle. Like,
I stay away from the church, obviously, because like my father, he was raised Catholic, right? Come from a Catholic family, and he obviously rebelled against that religion because he was just raised into it without choice. He was christened, that's just how it is. And he decided to be an atheist and raise me out of religion. So I wasn't raised with religion, but I always knew there was a God. And I knew that God was separate from religion, because I was like, well, I don't even go to church. I'm not religious. I've never been baptized or christened, but God spoke to me. So I'm like, so God is real, but the religion is fake. So people need to separate that. And the churches, I've been to some churches recently that are really, like you said, are really great. They're not like these God's going to smite you type churches, right? You know, so I went to a Greek Orthodox church recently. I filmed a baptism and then a wedding that same day. So that was honestly a beautiful experience. So you do have to go and find the right ones with the right pastors or bishops, whatever they may be, right? And then once you get a better understanding, like you might not need to go there anymore, because the church could be anywhere. It could be yourself, it could be your home, or it could be the church you go to. So
yeah, that's one thing I kind of learned recently. I don't think I chatted about it on the channel yet, is the difference between like religion and spirituality. One is like what everyone else believes, like very like kind of strict dogma, like, okay, you must believe it's this way, you must learn all these Bible verses. That's cool and it has a place, I feel. But then there's the spirituality, which is like developing your own relationship with God yourself, like doing your own, finding your own meditation, finding your own way to pray, not necessarily having to go outside, like you said, just like going inward, being more authentic to yourself, following like a more passionate path that feels right inside. So any closing thoughts on this?
Just like, wow, what an amazing discussion. You know, I had no idea I was going to be really delving into this and feeling the way I've been feeling just talking about it, right? So I've definitely come to some more realizations just in the last 45 minutes speaking about this. So I wish I was more prepared, that's to be honest, but I'm happy that you recommended me to come here and invited me. It's amazing. So the spirituality is just amazing, and living with it is great. And then once you find your calling, it's just even more amazing. I know I've always wanted my calling to go up against some kind of end times war, and I feel like with AI on the rise now, it's getting closer. So yeah, if that's the way it's supposed to be and what I was chosen to do, then I'm going to embrace it, and I love it, right? So it's nothing to be afraid of.
Yeah, I love that. Like, I've always kind of had in my mind for the last few years, like, okay, what you're doing is great, but you're blowing a bunch of money and you're meant to be a healer. Like, I just saw myself like in this like hood and just like so grounded and helping people. It's like, no, this is over here for you. Like, just start coming this way. And I came and I saw and I found meditation, and then I dated a shaman for a year and a half, and everything else just kind of has been really coming together. And now that I hit a certain milestone, it's like then spirituality has just like blown the doors open in my life, and now it's like game time.
Once you wake up and realize how the spiritual life is the better way, you see how restricted and governed you were in society, and you feel like, whoa, I wasn't even allowed to do this or be this. I had to be a set way, and now I've been introduced to this, or it found me. I'm like, I feel so free. I can be who I am, and there's no restrictions. There's no governing of who I am and who I'm supposed to be, right? So
yeah, more flow. Just be guided. I love that. Well, I guess that's it for the very first episode of The Love Collective. Stay tuned for more. I'm going to be interviewing all my spiritually tuned friends, and we're just going to see what's out there in the ether. So we'll see you soon. Blessings, and be open to miracles. Bye.
This has been great. It makes me so happy doing this. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.